So one of the most important things that you're going to do with your dog is to find the working level. So the working level can be sometimes difficult to find, and it's going to fluctuate depending on what circumstances you're in. So if your dog is more distracted by the environment around them, then the working level is going to go up. And if your dog is less distracted, then the working level is going to go down. So like right now we're in the house, and so his working level might be pretty low. But when we go outside, it's going to get higher because there's more distractions. So the working level is the lowest level that your dog feels the stimulation. So it should barely feel the stimulation, and that's the level that you're going to work at. So that you're going to do all your basic training on the lower levels. And that way your dog stays happy and is able to work for a longer period of time. So that's not so there's different levels. So there's the working level, but there's also a correction level for things like jumping on the counter, jumping on people, for things that you want to get rid of. That's a higher level. So this is just finding the low level that we work on basic training on. So like sit, down, stay, place, those types of things. So I have my mini Educator here, but we also use Dogtra, but for the most part we use mini Educator. So I'm going to start on number 1. And so I'm just going to let him get a little bit distracted. So I'm looking for any change in his behavior. So maybe if his mouth was open, if he shut his mouth and looked around, he might, if he makes a sound, an audible, then that means it's too high. But I might not notice that before he makes an audible, so he could make an audible, but that means that it's a little bit too high, and I'll go a few below that or 1 below that. So now we're doing 2. So he might have felt that, but I think he just heard the sound of the button. The button makes a sound. Okay, so I think he might have felt that. So that's a 3. So that might be his working level. Let's try a 4. Okay, he definitely felt that. So that was a 6. Did you see him go? So I might keep it on the 6, or I might actually move it to a 5, so that it's a little bit lower when I'm working with him. So that's how you find the working level. So if you noticed, when I was on a 6, he looked down and he's like, what was that? So I think I'm going to move it to a 5 and work on that level. So that's how you find your dog's working level. And like I said, as you go along, you're going to need to change it. So in one walk, during a walk, it can fluctuate from a 3 to a 15 or a 20 if you need to do a correction. So it's pretty crazy. Some dogs even fluctuate between a 1 and a 100. So it can really vary. So what you need to do is not really worry so much about the number, but actually pay attention to your dog and what your dog is doing. Good boy.